Hey y'all, I'm back with a Project Life Process video and I'll be working on February 2019 in this video. One of my previous videos I did January of 2019, so I'm sharing February with y'all this time. I did do a front and back in the last one, but I am only going to do a front in this one because it did take me a little while and I feel like there's enough content to share. I will share with y'all also that I am cutting up some of these 4x6 photos because I use PicFrame to load two photos onto a 4x6 like layout. However, I shouldn't have cut some of them up, and I'll kind of share a little bit more about that. Some of the photos, if you have like two vertical photos that are very similar and you want both of them in your spread, I would load both of them onto a PicFrame and then not cut them apart so that you have a 4x6 photo, especially if you don't have enough 4x6s. Like in this one, I didn't have any just 4x6 photos. And so with some of them, I should have left as is. Like the park photo, even though it's not one continuous 4x6 like landscape orientation, I feel like I could have just I at this point I'm feeling like, okay, I can just leave it as is so I have a 4x6 photo. And I should have done the same with some of the other ones, especially her basketball one. You'll see down at the bottom left. It's not the same photo, but they're very similar, and those you can just leave without cutting. So right now I'm just working on placement. I had a lot of pictures, obviously, because I'm just doing monthly for this year, for the year of 2019. It'll help me get caught up, and I can kind of write little snippets about the month without having to like totally remember everything that went on. I was also pregnant at the time and I think I was feeling pretty sick, if I can remember correctly. I was still in my first trimester, I think. So anyway, or getting close to the second one. I'm going to use these stamps. These are an old set from Feed Your Craft. They are, I think they're called the Feed Your Craft marker set. They're really pretty. Once they get stamped, they look really nice. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out February, and then I will find a different stamp for the year. So I'm using this ink called Blossom ink by Close to My Heart, but they don't have that available anymore. And I think the next one that was closest was Smoothie, but I also think that's discontinued. And then there's another one that's very similar, and I can't, off the top of my head, remember the name, but I will try to link that down below. I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I like to keep some continuous elements throughout the spread. So like if I'm going to use cork, I'm probably going to use it on multiple pictures or multiple pockets. And so I decided to pull out my little cork drawer and use several of the pieces just here and there. And so right now I'm just trying to this is the part where I feel like I get most overwhelmed. And I mean that in a very I'm not super overwhelmed, just as much as you can, I feel like, when you're doing something fun. And so I feel like at the very beginning, but once I pull out the element that I'm going to use across the board, and then also a couple of other things to kind of help layer with that, I feel like then I get kind of my mojo. So here I found some little labels from LA Studio. I'm going to cut those apart, or I cut one apart. I know I already have pink happening. Ava, and my daughter Ava, in the photo has a pink bow on, and she has kind of a mustard color top, I guess. I don't know if it's a dress or a shirt in that photo. But so I chose a card that had some yellow in it, and then I'm also choosing a little yellow sticker for an anchor to a little circular sticker that says Be Brave. And I chose that because she was not super into doing something new like basketball. And so that's partly why I chose that. We also went to the zoo in the park in the month of February. We had a Valentine's celebration with my nieces. I think at the time my husband was coaching basketball and he was probably gone. And then I think my sister, for some reason, was gone at night too. She might have been working. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, my nieces came over and my kids kind of, so we celebrated together. So I had a little something for them and then something for my daughter as well. I stamped a cute little stamp from LA Studio onto the cork just to give it a little something. And then at this point, I want to write a little bit about February. So I am going to go ahead and include what the other side will entail, like as far as the pictures go. And so what I decided to do was separate like my pregnancy photos from the just kind of regular day-to-day photos. So like I must have taken it, I guess like this is when my baby bump really started showing, and so I decided to share those photos like on the back side. So those will be probably in another video. I'm just writing about Ava playing with a camera, and then that she's starting to warm up to basketball, to the park, Valentine's. She's practicing her words and letters. Trying to think what else. Oh, I talked also about cravings because that was one of the photos on the other side as well. And so I just used my handwriting for this one. Sometimes it is kind of hard to get these 4x6 cards through my typewriter if they are like pretty good quality in terms of like the pound. So these cards are probably like an 80-pound card stock. I mean, that's just a guess. And so that's pretty hard to get through the typewriter. So I just use handwriting, so I don't have to like mess with that. I had a couple more things to write, and then I'll be done with that card, and that will be able to go into the pocket. At this point, I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the other blank card. So the other card has a pretty like little label on the top that's kind of hanging down, but it had like a journaling spot as well, and I really didn't want to have to journal again. And so I feel like sometimes journaling is such a nuisance, even though like you appreciate it later on. And so what I decided to do was pull out my DIY embellishments. Part of the reason why I create these is so I can have detailed pieces on my pages without having to like create one in the moment. And so what I decided to do is grab one of these square embellishments and then add the little cork piece right on top. I really liked the way it looked because it had all the colors that I was looking for in that embellishment. But I also used pinks and yellows a lot, so that worked out pretty well. I'm going to add the heart right on top. If I can get the backing off of it. This was adhesive back cork. I'm not really sure if you can still get that or where they sell it. I know they have it at the Dollar Tree, but it's way too thick for my punches, so I can't use it with that. I tried, but if y'all know of anywhere else you can find adhesive back cork that's like pretty thin and good quality, let me know. I'm going to add the other cork heart to the picture of my nieces in their car on Valentine's, and then I found a cute little arrow that I'm also going to add. And I actually didn't like the placement of it, but it was pretty stuck. Like it was going to pull up part of the photo, so I just decided to keep it. I almost pulled it up and moved it, and then I was like, it's really not that big of a deal. You really can't even tell it's there. I also added some cardstock stickers to the picture of my daughter in the middle where she's at the zoo. And I added like 3 of those. And now they're ready to go in the pockets. I added one more sticker at the top, but I really love the way this turned out. It's really simple. I added a little bit of stamping, added a little bit of some stickers and DIY embellishments, and then some texture with the cork. And so I feel like it turned out pretty cute. That is it. I will talk to you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.